Hey up Woodlanders, this morning we're on a road trip. We're off to see Jamie at the Worcestershire cabinet maker's workshop. He's an expert in wood briquettes from his sawdust and shavings in his workshop. And I have purchased a little briquette maker and we're going to help set it up. Make our first briquettes out of our wood shavings out of my workshop. And see if we can get some advice off Jamie about what it takes to be a master briquette maker. I don't tend to film in front of others, feeling a tad apprehensive. Nearly there. Welcome to the West Midlands. We've arrived. There he is, look, there's Jamie. Hey Woodlanders, this is Jamie. Jamie, you are the Worcestershire
cabinet maker on YouTube.
And I'll link his channel into the description just down below. But at the moment we're in his workshop. It's a little treasure trove of delights, really. It's
yeah.
If you like tools, you love workshops like this. I love it. I've been around already just examining everything. First job we've got this morning is we're going to unbox this so we can get ready and set up with our briquette making. Jamie's just done a quick tour of his pots and how he ferments his shavings.
Fermenting, you know what?
Isn't it?
When I started making these briquettes 10 years ago, it was about speed. So I was putting the shavings in the bucket and more or less making them same day.
Yeah.
But they spring back open and it's not good.
Right.
But the longer you can leave it, like a fine wine.
Yeah.
Doesn't smell like a fine wine, does it? Smells awful.
Well, there's a winey smell, but it's perhaps not something you want to drink, is it?
No.
And I'm watching some of Jamie's back catalogue of YouTube videos. You just notice that a lot of people do them, don't they? Kind of quick in and out, get the shavings used up. But I notice you've over time lengthened the time that you ferment your shavings for.
Yeah, and the other thing that people think as well is the compression has to be all the weight you can do.
Right.
No.
So you don't have to swing on this thing then?
No, I don't. I don't do that anymore. So if we just look inside there, I've got a strainer thing through there.
Oh yeah.
So yours has got to run down here. Okay.
That's right.
Okay, whereas mine runs through there as well.
The cages are about the same, aren't they?
Yeah, I think the cages are meant to be replacements.
Oh yeah.
Oh, but that wouldn't work, would it?
Oh no.
So he has changed.
Yes, yours is held by the hand. Oh yeah, I got you.
That just sort of drops down there. But you know what? 10 years, it's still going fine.
But other than that, they're pretty much equal, aren't they? Really?
Yeah. No, I think you've got about the right amount of moisture. You might need a bit more. Now this is where I tamp down. Wow.
There's not much moisture coming out of that, is there?
No.
Can't even see any water coming out.
No. But what's it done to the briquette? See, it's got quite a bit of spring back.
It has, hasn't it? Yeah.
So you have to, with this, you have to, what I suggest is you push the bottom that way and lift it up. That's it.
Like that?
Yeah. You've got to get past that.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so we've got a little bit of work to do because we've got a little bit of debris in the bottom, haven't we?
Yeah.
Shall we put it on the bench?
Yeah, it's all right.
You alright with that?
Yeah. And feel how soft it is in the middle. Right, so you have to put your hand, I used to put the back of my hand on there.
Like that?
Yeah, and then quickly pull it away. And
so
that's
yes,
it.
There's a lot of spring back on that, isn't there?
Yeah, and that's your shavings. That's these sort of shavings, which I think for what. So this is your typical shavings,
Pretty much, yeah. It's come through the planer. So the stuff that comes out of the circular saw and the sanders, you see, I don't tend to pick it up because I've not got dust extraction, so it tends to be stuff off the floor, you see. So
you do need that fine dust. That fine dust makes a huge difference.
Right.
So get your fine dust. I think you need to, for me, if you're not picking up that much fine dust either, and you're getting more of this, I think the composting route would suit.
Right.
So
it starts to make this reduce in size, gets a lot more moisture in,
and
start to decompose.
Yeah, get some coffee in with it.
Yeah.
I can see the grains of coffee. You can see the grains of coffee in some of there.
Oh yeah.
Which is great. But look how just like a flat surface of a shaving there is the break point between this and that. This is why I used to have these around, because these used to sit on it like that.
Oh yeah.
That would keep it compressed while it's drying.
So that's like a pavia brick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got you.
Now I got a bit smart, and what I used to do, I will show you, I'll set it up and I'll show you. I used to set up 2 pieces of wood like that. I used to put the 5 blocks down there. 5.
Yeah.
Then I'd grab these dirty old bits of wood I've got. That would sit on top of there. Grab those, put some weight on top of those, and that's it.
Right.
Then I'd leave it for a couple of weeks.
Okay. So that was the old method.
That was the old method.
You've got to stop it from swelling back.
Yeah, because if it swells back, it's just full of air.
Yeah.
And then it'll burn.
And it'll burn quick then?
Incredibly.
Yeah.
15 minutes. These now, 2 hours 15.
And all you've done is just left it to decompose, that's it. You've not done any changed anything, recipes or nothing.
Think of the way peat is. Think of the way the peat bogs, where the Irish use the peat bogs, they dry it out and burn it. For me, it's efficiency. It's so much less effort for so much more burn. Sometimes they're so wet and soggy that I will just do that and leave it there. There's a really good one. Look how decompressed and squeeze it. Feel the...
Yeah, it's quite firm. It's quite light, isn't it? That feels no substance to it, but
no.
Yeah,
but,
and that's ready to burn.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, ready to go. Those are from May, June.
So, and how long do you tend to leave them to dry for?
3 weeks. 3 weeks and they'll be dry.
And is this like a south-facing window?
Westerly window. Yeah, and the drying rack, I work my way round the drying rack. So when I make some more, so those need to come out.
Yeah.
When I start making these, those will come out, get boxed up, start filling the rack from there, and then the next batch to take out is 10. So then I'll make a void there, make the batch to go in there. These will just get boxed up, ready for Christmas, ready for winter.
Right.
I use them with other wood as well. So it's not just briquettes that I burn.
No.
I bought logs.
No.
Just all my offcuts, and this lot works pretty well. Get this turny thing in, and I find that putting it in and pulling it up to turn it is better than just drilling
spinning
and
it,
because you're just spinning it. You're not making any.
You want the bottom to be at the top and the top to be at the bottom, then.
A good mix.
Really,
a really good mix, and you can smell this now, can't you?
Yeah. I never thought I'd be in a timber workshop smelling a dairy farm smell. Well, you reckon that's from June? So we've got June, July, August, September, so we're possibly looking at nearly 4 months worth of fermenting, aren't we? Which, compared to mine, which is this one here, which has only been going for a week, we do think that this sort of compressed block that springs back wants a lot more, and that's where we're at with Jamie's recipe here.
Use the waste you've got. I've got a cafe next door. I've got access to loads of coffee.
Yeah.
I make wood shavings and dust that go through my saw, my planer, my thicknesser, so I don't have chainsaw type. So you've got some chainsaw type.
There is, yeah. There's all sorts of planers. And
so because yours is coarser, for me, I would say leave it composting. You know what? You're gaining 7 years on me by just starting to compost now.
Yeah.
Because I just kept making the same thing, and I thought speed was important. Speed's not important. Slow's the way to go, because they burn for ages.
Yeah.
So I can just dig down. It is almost like soil. I find that I'd push this down. So what can happen is when you're putting too much weight on it, if there's any air in there, it'll spurt out. So put a bit of weight on it. So now we're getting some
There is some squeeze out.
There is.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot. So I find tipping it forward helps.
Oh yeah.
And that's sort of what I want. I don't want any more water than that. Let that drip into the next mix. So that's what I think is the more of the waste from here that goes in there starts that process, helps that process.
Oh yes, because you're getting bacteria in there, aren't they? Starting to the composting process again. Yes.
So I'm not putting it back in there. I'm not throwing it away. It's just getting used and used and used. And if you look in there now, look at the difference.
Yeah, that is completely different. It is just like peat.
It is, and there's a lot of coffee content. This is like 60%, 50% coffee. So I have to lift it out. I have to squeeze the sides in to lift it out.
Oh yeah.
And I use that, which they sell now. The people that they asked me if they could, and I think he gave me 20 quid on buy me a coffee, and that's it.
Right. And no weight on that now.
I can leave it like that, and it'll go down. Or I could do 5 of them. If they're similar size, I could put a plank on and do on top.
Right. What was the point where you realised you want to let it ferment? Was that by accident?
Yes.
Was it?
Yeah.
You left something in too long, did you?
Yeah.
Right.
I did a video on it.
Okay.
I left it I totally forgot. I'd got a period where I was doing restoration jobs, I was doing all sorts. I hadn't got the dust and shavings to get rid of.
Right.
It was in there 6 months. I took the lid off and I was just like, wow, the smell was horrendous. So I took it home, put it on the compost, in the compost bin, and then I thought, hang on a second, I wonder if it'll burn. So I grabbed it back out, some of it, I made 1.5 sort of thicknesses,
right,
and it burnt for ages, and I was like, hang on, game changer. I think my video is called something like, we've been doing this wrong.
So have you tried anything other than wood shavings? I guess your industry is all about wood shavings and waste that way. Because people say you can do paper. You ever tried?
I don't have any paper.
Okay. Have you tried things like grass cuttings? Because some have said you can use grass cuttings in it.
But looking at the way this works, I think if you've got space, I would definitely make small compost bins, different types to start with, knock up some compost bins, keep a log of what's going on, put it in there, and then try it. Because it was only when I started logging things, how I'm making them, what percentage it was, and then burning them, and then really realising, hang on, this is so much better than I've been doing. I put tea bags in there, I put hair out of hairbrushes, your vacuum cleaner rubbish.
Okay. I know some of them have done it with manure, horse manure, cow manure, and they mix it with straw to add a bit of sort of fibre to it.
Yeah,
but you could mix it with sawdust.
You know what? I don't think you actually need to.
You probably wouldn't need that, would you?
I think if you just, I think the least effort.
We're just trying to wrap up and get a conclusion from where we're at with this. I think because that's almost like a Brillo pad sponge. That is.
Yeah, in 3 weeks' time, that will burn in 10 minutes.
So rather than me trying to save that, I think it's going to go straight back in my bucket.
Yeah.
Take the lot back with me. I'm going to leave that now again. I think probably 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
To be honest, and just keep checking it and stirring it every week. I think there's little point converting all of that into blocks when they're just not going to last.
Make space for compost bins. Put it in there, and keep a log of it. And then start another one off. I want you to have good results. I don't want you to waste your time on and struggle through it like I've sort of struggled through it.
Okay.
More coffee, finer dust. You need the nitrogen, you need the fibre. Coffee, nitrogen, wood shavings, fibre. And it's 50-50 is a good place to start.
And an interesting one on coffee. Yesterday I just went into a local coffee shop in Swadlincote. I explained to them what it was about, and they said, well, if you want to bring a bucket in, bring a bucket in. She says, because we get far more coffee grindings than we ever get inquiries. Coffee just seems to be something that has to be going to landfill.
It is. They do. They throw it away. Some people do use it on their gardens, but actually you can overuse coffee on your garden. Coffee burns 20 to 30% hotter than wood.
Oh, we're seeing now. That's interesting.
Forgot to mention that.
Yeah, now that is.
So when you put it on, and you put a couple on, and you've got the heat coming off, you've got. I was shocked. One of my videos shows me burning it, and I was just like, this is hotter than normal, and yet there was less in the log burner, and the thermometer on the top was above where I normally had it. Then I read about it, and yes, 20 to 30% hotter. And it just slowly delaminates, opens up, and a couple of hours.
So you think they're quite good, the coffee logs?
If they weren't 50p each.
Okay, then
50p each, so a bag of 16 is £8.
And that's been done on a very high spec piece of machinery, hasn't it? It's like a hydraulic press.
Yeah. A lot of money.
I've had that since February.
Have you? Oh,
yeah.
Blimey.
And it's like, I'll get to do it, and I just never had a chance. And it can be months before you get that opportunity to return.
So I'm really chuffed that you phoned me, well, you messaged the other day and said, can I come round? It's like, yeah, great.
Yeah, it's no problem.
Very cool. Let's put that down. This project at the moment, I'm getting 5 legs out of here. So I've got some waste there, and some waste on the end of that, which is great. I can use that for something. I can use this for something. Maybe not that. That'll go on the fire, so that's good. When you come down to the shavings on this project I'm working on, from this bag of shavings, maybe half to 2/3, somewhere like there, would go straight into there with the coffee. So if we work it out, I can get about 35, 40 from a bucket. 40. So you get, let's say, 40 briquettes out of one of those. Yeah. And I think with the shavings, I'll fill 3 of those. So
at that whole bag, right?
Yeah, we'll do about 120. I wouldn't just use briquettes on their own, because I don't think I've got other wood to get rid of. It is all about, really, it's about me utilising my waste up until April, May next year, and how I'm going to use that waste up.
Right. Well, that's quite amazing, and really, how much of that, if that one bag can make 3 tubs, which makes 120 briquettes, that's pretty impressive. It's with coffee grindings as well, isn't there? A bit of volume as well.
That's the thing. If you can get your coffee grinds off somebody, if you can get 120 and they're burning at 2 hours at a time.
I know, yeah.
It's not bad, is it?
I know. And if the coffee gives off more heat as well.
Yes, exactly. For me, it works really well.
If your sawdust is coming through at a faster pace, you just have to have more tubs fermenting in the background, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I was a 1 bucket person. Now I'm a 2 bucket man. And I might, if with this project, if I'd really got my wits about me, I might have to get another couple of buckets.
Right. What is that?
Remember those? Milwaukee. So I worked it out one day that I can put these in here like this. So this is the other thing, isn't it? Minimum handling.
Yeah, that and making a mess of everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah. So if you can get these,
no way,
and you can put them in here like this, it means that I can take them home and I can put them in the house without dust going everywhere, without...
Well, that's absolutely brilliant, isn't it, that?
It's not bad, isn't it?
We're back. I hope you enjoyed our little trip to Jamie's. I can safely say I've got a lot to learn when it comes to making briquettes out of sawdust and shavings. Jamie's quite a hive of information, and he's done a lot of research over many years, some of it by accident. Nonetheless, he's made significant progress in making his briquettes. The basics are, I've got to leave it much longer than I'm doing, months rather than weeks and days. However, I don't want to ramble and waffle anymore. Safe to say, I think we're going to have to revisit this in another video a bit further down the line. I'm going to put this in storage and let that do its thing over the next couple of months, and then do a little follow-up video just to see really how I can make my first lot of briquettes. Basically, I want to thank you, Jamie, for your helping me to learn from all of your experience and all your trial and errors. It's been really beneficial for me. Hopefully the video's been really beneficial for you if you want to make briquettes from your wood shavings and waste and dust from your workshop. And of course, it seems that you can make briquettes from quite a lot of different things. There's one bit of research I did. Jamie showed us these briquettes that have been manufactured from pure coffee. Now, before you go out and buy those, I just want to say, legislation, it would appear, does not approve of their use in smoke control zones. So if you live in the UK and you're in a smoke control zone, coffee logs are not approved to use in those areas. I'll leave that for you to decide on where you live and how you move forward with that. Anyway, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate you dialing in. Thank you, Jamie, for your participation. Jamie will have his own video on this from his perspective, as I've got this video from my particular perspective. Let me know in the comments if you've got any further advice you'd like to give regarding briquette making, and I will see you on the next one. We're down near Sutton Park, and I always used to remember this road as the Millionaire's Mile. I don't know whether that's true or not, but in this day and age, I think we could possibly rename it as the Multi-Millionaire's Mile. Anyway, I'm not really interested in what people have got. I'm more interested in the trees. I was always fascinated by the stature. Got some really lovely mature trees.